Hello, everybody, and welcome today. Today we got another Barlow's 5.
Top 5, yes,
Top
sir.
5. We're going to call it something different, though, because you never just have 5.
Well, today I have 5. Plus an honorable mention.
Yeah,
which we'll get to
I was
the
going
end.
to say, there's no way. You're tricking me now, man.
There's only 5. There's only 5.
On the table right now, currently, there's
Yeah.
only 5. Forget about these 7 that are underneath the table that he's about to surprise everyone
There's
with.
only one. After the season of giving, when we had
22, I think, is what it was. The Barlow's 5 was 22.
Well, we're gonna keep it to just 5 with one honorable mention because I think that it deserves it, and you'll see why in just a minute.
But these are Barlow's 5 games, kind of like chess?
Yes, so I'm calling them chess-like games. And you're probably looking at these, and if you've played any of them, you're probably looking at me cross-eyed, like, what are you talking about, Barlow? Well, so in my mind, a chess-like game generally is played, 2 people, so it's a head-to-head game. There's clearly, the game mechanics are simple, right? So it's simplified, easy enough that you can pick up the rules, within one playing or sooner. There is clearly a strategic element to the game, so you have to think about moves ahead, is how I'm kind of defining chess-like. You have to think ahead in the game. And there's also something where you may not necessarily right away see your win or your opponent's win, so you have to think not just a single move, but you have to think multiple moves and multiple variations on moves.
Okay.
So that's what I am calling a chess-like game.
But you're pretty confident that if you enjoy chess,
Yes.
you will enjoy these games,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. I'm pretty confident that if you enjoy chess, you should try these games because you will most likely enjoy them. For
And be
some of the
good at
same
them.
reason. Yes,
If
you'll
you're
be
good at chess, you'll be good at these as well.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we'll stack them up here, and then
All right.
you pick which ones you want to go for.
Well,
Talk about first.
Let's do Onitama. So this is probably the most chess-like one, right?
Yes.
Because it's got a board. So chess, obviously.
We did a video on this.
Oh, good. So then
Yep,
then you
me
know
and
what
Jay.
it's about.
Yep.
It's a 5x5 board. You're moving your pieces. You have an objective to, take your opponent's master or to take over their dojo, right? So always about the moves. The interesting element of this is that, there's a limited number of moves, right? You have 2 that you can do in front of you, and every time you choose a move, you trade it out with the one that is on the side of the board. So what you can actually move, you have to think about what you're giving your opponent and how it might impact their play. So again, it meets these, it's head-to-head. It definitely requires thinking ahead of your moves, thinking multiple moves ahead. You can't just think about one play. You have to think about 2 or 3 plays ahead. And you may not necessarily see your win or your opponent's win right away. So super fun game. The other thing I like about this game, too, is it's just nicely done. The box is packaged very nicely. It's got a little magnetic close in the case. The board is a little neoprene matte, and the little pieces are nice. Everything about it is, and the cards are good quality.
And it's very easy to pick up.
Oh, super
to
easy.
learn how to play.
Super easy.
Yeah, it really is. Like I said, we played this one. Jade told me how to play this game.
Oh, did you like it?
And yes, I thought it was awesome. I actually bought it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought it was very easy to play.
Yep.
And like you said, this one is very chess-like. So if you enjoy chess, it's probably a good one to check out.
Well, and it's got that's the other thing is, these games tend to have a lot of depth. It's not necessarily immediately noticeable. You're like, you're just moving little pieces. No. There's definitely a lot of depth to this. And that's one of the things that I think this game in particular captures is that there is so much depth and strategy to it that I don't even know that, an amazing chess player would be able to master this game the same way because every game is a little bit different because of the
cards. Yeah.
Exactly.
The cards, yeah.
But I think any chess player would benefit from trying that game.
Really like that one, yeah.
Yep, that's good. So this is the next one I want to talk about because you can tell this is a very old package. The game is still available. So everything here is still available for purchase. You can still buy it. It's still in print. Nothing's out of print. But this is just a very old copy of the game because I have liked it for so long. Quarto is a game where there is a 4x4 board and there are 16 pieces. The pieces share, or they have qualities, 4 separate qualities. There is whether they are light or dark, whether they are tall or short, whether they are solid or hollow, and whether they are square or round. Okay. On your turn, you want to win the game, you want to place the last piece that completes a row of 4 where each one of the pieces shares at least one attribute. So you want to have all 4, of the same light or dark, or all 4 square, or all 4 hollow, or all 4. Now, the trick to this is you don't choose your piece. On your turn, your opponent chooses a piece that has not been placed on the board, hands it to you,
and you place
it on the board. That's exactly right. So it's very much an element of you don't know exactly what you're going to get. You have to control where you place the board. So, for example, you can play aggressively, and you can set up options where there's where you've got a row where if you place a light piece, you're going to win. So that means the only ones left available that you can truly give your opponent are dark pieces. So you can start to eliminate different, tall pieces, short pieces as you go. But you have to watch out, because if you're not, a move or 2 ahead, your opponent can do the exact same thing back to you. Super fun game. It's very, very, very simple to learn. And probably the element that I like about it, obviously the pieces are very, very nice. But I like the element that your opponent chooses your piece for you, and then you have to decide what to do with it.
So it says $8 to $99, so 8-year-olds can, so
Easily.
your kids can pick up the game pretty
Easily.
well, right? That's pretty
Easily,
cool.
absolutely, very, very easy for a young person.
Look at this old box, though. That box is all beat up.
I've had it for a long time. This is another game that I think so the reason that I picked up this game originally is because I wanted something that would kind of replicate a miniatures game, kind of replicate how you're, moving your troops and around a battlefield and trying to accomplish things. And this, but packed small and made it easy. And this was kind of what I thought might be that. It is that, but it's so much more. This is a game where, so you have a bag of basically tokens. They're like poker chips.
Okay.
And on your turn, you're going to draw them, and you're going to start placing them on the board. The different types of tokens, so at the beginning, you kind of draw cards that tells you which poker chips go into your bag, so which kind of units you have. And your units behave differently. They attack differently. They move differently. So, and the board is a hex-based board, fairly small. It's easy to play on a small area, and there's definitely an element of making sure that you get lucky of drawing the right piece, making sure that you're lucky in the beginning by getting the right card for the right units that you want. You get there's an element of choice in there too, in design for your army, but making sure that you have that right. And then also, again, it's watching ahead. It's watching moves ahead, seeing what your opponent is placing down, knowing what they potentially could pull from their bag and place on the board. It's a super, super fun game, and you're just trying to take over the territory or move and eradicate enough of your opponent's units. So very much feels like a war game, very much feels like a miniatures game, despite being no miniatures. And it really, really kind of feels like a strategy chess game.
Okay.
Good, great fun
This is
game.
War Chest.
Yes, War Chest.
By AG.
Yes, War Chest. So this one is...
we did a video on this too.
Yes. So you know what this is. It's Hive. To me, this is a chess-like game because on your turn, what you're trying to do is you've got different bugs in your bag, right? Mm-hmm. You pull the bugs out, and you place them where you're... Well, I don't think they're in a bag. I think you have to choose which one you want. I don't think you draw them. So, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to surround your opponent's queen.
Yep.
On your turn, you can either place a tile, a hex tile, or you can move one of your tiles. And your tiles move based on the type of bug
they are. Yep.
Right. So it goes back to, again, this strategy of determining where you're going to place the piece. What makes this kind of different from the others is because once you place a piece, it's similar to War Chest. You get to move stuff around. But in War Chest, you can move based on the, you can move and attack and do those types of... Whereas with Hive, you have to move and make sure that you can move into that position. Now, there's no board... But when I say move into position, like making sure that it matches a number of sides with either your piece or your opponent's piece, and there's limitations on what they can do, and all the pieces move differently. So you might have a winning strategy that your opponent could all of a sudden play a piece and then immediately blow your strategy out of the water because you hadn't predicted it or seen it. So
that's what happened to me. Sydney
There you
pulled
go.
a move on me, and I was like, oh.
You're like, wait a minute, what happened?
Yeah, she almost she basically trapped me where I had nowhere to do. I was 3 moves away from losing, and I knew it was going to happen.
Oh, see, that's it.
There's nothing I could do about it.
Tell early,
Yeah.
right? See, if it was chess, you would have just moved your knight. You would have just your king down.
I would should have just flicked the queen right off the table. Yeah, because she trapped me like 3 moves early, and I saw it.
That's awesome. So that's Hive. Again,
The tiles are really nice on this too.
Oh,
yeah. It's a really nice little, and it's one of those like small boxes that you toss in. It comes in a bag. So
well, and there's also expansions, and the expansions just introduce different bugs and different movements and stuff. And that particular box is the travel version, so it's really really compact. You throw it in your pocket and go with it.
Dude, this game.
So Sid introduced this to me. She was the one that introduced me to this.
Yeah, it was Mike and Ryan showed me this one.
Did you enjoy it?
Well, I never played it, but watching it, there is a lot to this game.
Oh yeah. So this is Shobu. There are 4 boards. They're 4x4, and they each one has 4 of your stones and 4 of your opponent's stones on it. What you have to do is you have to make what is called a passive move, meaning that you have to move one of your stones and on one of the boards that's on your side of the table. So there's light boards and dark boards. Whichever one you choose, that piece that you move, it cannot move other pieces around, it can't push other pieces, and it can't jump other pieces. Then, once you make your passive move, on the opposite color board, and it can be either on your side of the table or on the rope, or your opponent's side, you move another piece the same number of spaces and direction that you did. But this one can push pieces off the board.
Yep.
So you have to constantly be thinking about making sure that you have flexibility of movement so that you can, kind of track to push pieces off the board. The winner, though, is the person that pushes 4 stones of your opponent's off of any board. So if you push 4 off of, but it has to be a single board. You have to remove all the stones from one board. So you might be using this board to set up and try and plan your moves out on one of the other boards, but then all of a sudden your opponent could just knock your piece off all of a sudden. Well, wait a minute. So there's definitely a ton of depth to this. It plays pretty quick. I mean, you can play a game in 20 minutes or less. If you really sit and think, I mean, you can make it run longer.
And you will think.
Oh yeah,
you will think. Smoke will be coming out of your ears on this one. So if you like that type of really just in the game thinking, this is a great one for that. It really is.
And it's the other thing about all of these games is they're kind of abstract strategy games. I mean, I think that's a good description for this, is because it's. You really are kind of trying to knock pieces out like a war game, but you're using stones just like in chess, right? Chess is an abstract game as well because you're trying to control a battlefield, and in chess there's always where we're gonna travel. You play in the corridors. The center board is critical, and then there's 3 different phases to the game. Whether you're at the end game, mid game. And I think that this falls exactly in that kind of category. It's the same type of feel. There's opening moves that are very important in this game. And then there's also a mid-game strategy. And when you get to a certain... But your opponent may be in an end game, and you may not even know it. That's the other thing about this, because you may not even see what's happening with this. So it's... I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I thought it was super fun. And again... Very, very much.
I can see this one if you like chess. This is one, and this is by Smirk and Dagger. Shobu by Smirk and Dagger. Yep. I don't know if we went through, but Onitama is Arcane Wonder.
Yep.
Hive is I can't remember what Hive. Gen 42, I believe is what the company is. I think it's called Gen 42. Yeah.
Smart Zone.
Smart. You sure it's not Gen 42?
I think Gen 42 was one of the awards.
Okay, so Smart Zone or Gen 42, one of the two here.
You can't miss it.
War of the Chest is AEG, and then Quarto is Gigamic.
Yeah, and I think that they have actually gone through different publishers for Quarto. Yeah, because you will not find that box. that design.
Oh no,
you won't
the
find
one
that
from
box.
1970. We're not
right, exactly.
That's not the same box they have right now.
The kids on the back are wearing clothes from the 70s. Those are clothes that I wore when I was a kid.
That's
what they're wearing.
Playing Quarto in the back.
That could have been me on the back.
All right, so I know this isn't it. So where's the sneaky one?
So the one one that's worth mentioning. Now I know,
okay, hold on.
You've seen the show, right?
Yeah.
You know what it's about, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you on this.
Okay, what's the game about? I mean, what's the show about?
The show is about chess.
Yeah. What should the game be about?
The game should be chess. This should just be a chess set.
Right. It's not.
No, it's not. It is literally a game
about playing chess.
About playing chess with like chess pieces and stuff. Like, I saw this and I was like, oh, that's a cool chess set. And then I looked on the back, I'm like, why is this just not a chess set? Like, why is this not?
That's exactly. I was like, oh, Queen's Gambit, the board game. You mean chess? No, I was wrong.
No, here's another game about chess.
But so I will say about this game though, it does meet some of the elements of a chess-like game.
Okay.
You're like, oh, naturally because it's the Queen's Gambit. No, the thing that's different about this though is it's not a head-to-head game, so you can play 2 to 4 players. So that's another major element. There are absolute chess moves in the game. What you're trying to do is you're trying to play, different moves on the board so that you can claim pieces that are not necessarily, so like the pieces in the center, they're owned by everybody. They're not necessarily your pieces, and you're trying to claim pieces based on cards that you play that you can go after and try and chase down. Again, I just want to demonstrate this because, I also think that it should just be, chess.
A chess set. Yeah.
But it isn't a chess set. And then, so I first laughed and was like, I was very inclined to just be like, this is, this should be a chess set. This isn't it. But then I started looking at the game and realized there's a little more to it. It's worth picking up just because you can have it on your shelf and you can say, hey, you guys want to play Queen's Gambit? Oh, you want to play chess? You're like, no.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you just trick people.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's exactly. You can just have your own little fun with people.
Yes.
You want to play Queen's Gambit? Sure, I'm not good at chess. Don't have to be.
Don't have to. This is another game.
That's right. This
about
ain't
chess. That's not chess.
So I wanted to at least throw that in as an honorable mention. Because I don't think anyone, I don't know where they think they're going to get their audience. Who's going to buy this game? Because I think if you're a fan of chess, you're going to want to play a chess game. And if you see that and realize that it's not chess, I think you've lost that audience. And if you are a fan of the show, you're going to want to see what the game is about. And by looking at the back, you can't really tell much about the game, from looking at the back of the box. So I just think the marketing and the packaging of that game is I don't see how they think they're going to attract people to it by that. I would have done it very differently. But I will say that as far as the game is concerned, it's kind of an interesting little game. Nice. So worth checking out. All
right, so there is Barlow's 5-ish once again. One time I'm going to get you is going to be just 5, or you're going to be like, here's 3, like I'm a loose count, like I'm not counting, or something like that. But yeah, so there's Barlow's 5 games. If you like chess, you'll like, right? Like chess-like games that you should like. If you're interested in picking up any of these games, please check your friendly local game store first. If they don't have it, you're welcome to check Guardtower.com. I'll leave the link in the description below. Also, if you enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe. We really do appreciate it. We're growing the channel. We're really excited for 2022 and and making the channel bigger. And that really does help with the YouTube algorithm and everything like that. Yeah. But Barlow, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to the next Barlow 5-ish.
Well, and I'll tell you, if you do watch the videos and you try one of the games based on what we recommend here, leave us a note. Let us know what you thought about some of the games.
I'm super excited absolutely leave a comment if you liked the game, or if you didn't. That's fine too. Yeah. Exactly. And y'all have a wonderful now. We'll see you around. Have a good one.